breaking addiction to negative thinking. We don't really think about our thought patterns as addictions, but we are addicted to our thoughts. Psychology Today says 80% of the thoughts that we have on a daily basis are negative. And I'll explain in just a little while why that's good-ish and why that's normal. It also shows in research that 95% of our thoughts, that's almost all of them, 95% of our thoughts are repetitive, meaning you had the same thoughts or the same thought patterns yesterday that you have today, and you'll repeat them again tomorrow. It's why it's so difficult to change. But today we're going to talk about how to break negative thought patterns, the negativity that hurts you and holds you back and keeps you from getting what you really want and what we both know you deserve. I'm going to give you 4 really easy ways that you can begin to chip away at that habit and that addiction of negative thinking. But first, check and see if you're a subscriber here, and if not, click the subscribe button and the bell so you'll get notifications when we drop videos like this just for you. I'll be right back.
GILD Coaching. More success, less stress.
We have to break our addiction to negative thinking because negative thinking will literally kill you. I remember a few years ago when my mother was diagnosed with a terminal cancer. It was non-curable. She was told by her team of doctors, think positively. And they asked me and my sisters to constantly be putting positive things in front of her, positive ideas. And the reason is that negative thinking, negative thought patterns actually hurt your immune function. Your immunity system is what fights diseases. So if she was going to have a chance to have any of the treatments help her at all, to give her a better quality of life or a longer life, she needed to have positive thinking. Positive thinking helps you in so many different areas of life. And I don't mean false optimism or anything like that. I'm actually talking about a healthy, positive brain. But as I just told you a second ago, Psychology Today reports that research shows 80% of the average person's thinking is negative. And I also said that's not all a bad thing. The reason that I say it's not a bad thing is because your brain is literally programmed to remember negative things. We're programmed to hold on to negative things. So I'm going to explain this before I get to the 4 steps that I'm giving you today to overcome negative thinking. All right, so the reason that we hold on to negative things, that our brain is programmed to do this, and that's a function of a healthy brain, is so that it can keep us safe. So your brain creates memories, and memories show patterns. And those patterns help to keep us safe. So an example of this is not touching the hot stove. If you did it once, you won't do it again. Why? Because your brain is holding on to that painful memory to say, don't do that again. Running into the street, you're a little kid and your ball goes into the street and you see a car just smash it, and your mom or dad or aunt or uncle or whoever says, I'm so glad that wasn't your head. Your brain holds on to that memory, street with cars, dangerous, and it keeps you safe, okay? So that's our caveman brain. Cavemen didn't know when an animal was going to try to come after them, and it was you eat me or I eat you type of a situation, and so their life literally depended on it, and we still very much have that caveman, cavewoman brain, okay? So that's why our negative thought patterns aren't necessarily a bad thing, but it's when we bring in unnecessary negativity that it starts to hurt us. We've all had one of those situations where we don't feel good, or we're sad, or we're angry, and we just keep thinking about why we're sad or why we're angry, and we're kind of wallowing in that. It's not good for us, and it's especially not good for us when we share it with other people and or when we allow other people to share it with us. We recently did a video about why venting is bad for us. So if you haven't seen that one, I invite you to go to our playlist and check that out in our recent videos, because venting is really bad and it just helps to make the negativity even worse. So we've all been in that type of a situation, and we really need to stop those patterns. And the way to stop those patterns is by training your brain in a different way. The same way that every single day I'm very into physical fitness. Every single day I get up, I do my breath work, I do my stretching, I do my yoga, I take my dogs for a walk, and then I actually do my workout. That I don't count any of that as my workout. I actually do a hard cardio workout or weights or something like that. That is physical training. Your brain also needs training, and you have to put into play several easy disciplines to shift those patterns, because your brain, with 95% of the thoughts, an average of 95% of the thoughts being the same as the day before, you have just a little tiny sliver of opportunity to shift some of that. So you have to be very, very intentional. But now I'm going to tell you the 4 ways that you can start to do that. And it's really simple. So number 1, first and foremost, you have to own it. You have to own your negative thinking. You need to, journaling is a great way to figure out where your negative thought patterns are, just to write down your ideas, ideals, and figure out where those negative statements are. They usually sound like I wish or I hope. It's funny to think of hope as a negative statement, but when you're hoping, you're actually leaving the door open for failure. So I always say hope is a 4-letter dirty word. So I wish, I hope, oh, if only, things like that. So those are the statements that you're really looking for, and own it. Number 1, first and foremost, you've got to be authentic with yourself. If you don't recognize that there's a problem, then you won't know that there's something that needs to be corrected. Number 2, and this is something that I have all of our clients do, something that I do every day, I encourage each of my family members to do every day: begin your day in gratitude. If you don't really know what this means, I'll explain it really quickly, but also we do have a couple of videos here with guided gratitude sessions and guided meditations, so you can check that out on our guided sessions playlist. The way that I start each morning in gratitude, as soon as I have that first waking moment of, oh, it's today and I'm up, I'm awake, I stretch out flat on my back and I take in a deep breath of air and enjoy it, feel my belly rise and fall. And then I just start by saying, I'm so happy and grateful. And whatever flows into my brain, I just lie there and I feel it. I'm so happy and grateful for the peace and quiet in my home. I'm so happy and grateful for, the safety that I'm experiencing, that I had a good night's sleep, that my body feels good, that my pillow's nice, that whatever, that I have an exciting day ahead. I'm so happy and grateful for whatever, the abundance in my life. Any gratitude point, just one. Most of us, when we first wake up, we're like, oh, hit the alarm. What's today? Oh, I guess I better get out of bed. I need to get moving on this. No, just give yourself a treat. First thing during those first waking moments, training your brain to default to gratitude, and you can start tomorrow. Training your brain to default to gratitude will help it to be more open to recognizing positive things around you, because it's going to say, oh wow, that felt really good. So when you do something, like if you go get a massage and it feels really good, or like I finished my workout and I'm like, that felt really good, it makes you want to do that thing again. So if you're practicing this gratitude and you allow yourself to lie there 10 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute, 5 minutes, however long that you can budget for your gratitude, just lying there in gratitude and feeling the gratitude. When your body feels that, it's going to say, ooh, that feels good. So it's going to actively be looking everywhere for new things to celebrate, new things to feel grateful for, because it's going to know exactly how powerful and exactly how happy that makes you feel. Number 3, let go. Take out a piece of paper and a pen and write down for yourself any grudges that you're holding against people, anything that you're harboring. Because here's the big secret. I don't remember whose quote this is. Maybe it's anonymous. Well, it's anonymous right now because I don't remember who said it. But I love this quote. Forgiveness is setting the prisoner free and realizing the prisoner was you. So if you can write down just anything that you have a problem with. She kicked me. He's mean. That guy doesn't talk to me nicely, or she cheated me out of something, or this person still owes me money and doesn't even remember, and whatever. Anything that you're holding, any grudge, any anger, anything negative, anything that doesn't feel good to you. Okay, so that's a big category. Anything that doesn't feel good to you, just write it down and then take a deep breath and step back. None of it's really that big of a deal. Let it go. Stop thinking about these things. You have them down on paper now. You're not mulling them over on your brain. You're in your brain. You can see each thing might be irritating, but is it worth your health to focus on them? It's not. Your life, your health is so precious. So let it go. And number 4, breathe. Take time to take deep breaths and give yourself a break. Breathe and break. Take time for deep breaths and give yourself a break. We are all so hard on ourselves. And we do need to set goals and have benchmarks and keep them and progress in this human adventure that we're on, in this journey. But stop being so freaking hard on yourself. If your first thought tomorrow morning isn't gratitude and then you remember this video, oh, I was going to do that. Don't beat yourself up for it. Of course it's not going to be easy. Nothing is easy when you first start doing it. It's that intention that will help it to become a habit. And it's that habit that will help reshape your brain. And it's your brain that helps to run your life. So when you start to change your habits and your brain, then your life starts to change. It's not going to be overnight, but with your dedication on a day-to-day basis, it can happen, and maybe faster than you think. If this video has been of help to you, give us a thumbs up, and if you didn't already, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. We'll see you next time.